UW 360 is proudly supported by Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW 360 from outside gorgeous new Husky Ballpark. This is one of the most beautiful settings for college baseball in the country. Some amazing views of Lake Washington. It's also home to an inspirational story about one of the UW's top baseball players. We'll share that story with you a little later in the show. Also, did you know color blindness affects more than 10 million Americans? Now, thanks to some UW researchers, there's some exciting news about a treatment. Plus, a group of UW professors has teamed with a successful startup founder to tackle some of healthcare's biggest concerns with impressive results. That's just ahead in our BECU Husky Money Moment. And we'll meet a new crop of teachers who are making a big impact in Pierce County. But first, a UW research scientist is attracting national attention, not just for what she says, but where she says it. Climate scientist Amy Snover was honored by the White House for her work in educating the public about climate change. Reporter Stacy Sakamoto introduces us to the woman who was named a champion of change.
I think climate change is going to be the defining issue of the 21st century. Wetter winters, drier summers. This year is a dress rehearsal for climate change, right?
This is what Amy Snover does best, bringing climate education and literacy to classrooms and communities. In February 2015, Snover was a featured panelist in Washington, D.C.
Amy Snover, Assistant Dean for Applied Research at the University of Washington.
It was part of being honored as a White House champion of change. They're a select group of innovators doing extraordinary things in their community.
We know that the choices that we're making today about both energy use and preparing for future risks are going to shape our very future.
Some of us are going to...
Snover is equally at home in a classroom, where she's often a guest lecturer. She shares with students the kind of knowledge she's given policymakers in her role as director of the University of Washington's Climate Impacts Group.
We're a group of, climate scientists, hydrologists, people with policy and local government background.
Snover helps policymakers understand and use scientific data so they can respond to climate risks.
We expect less snowpack because it's getting warmer, changes in timing of natural water availability, increased fire risk, sea level rise, lots and lots of changes across the region. Where do we locate valuable transportation infrastructure? How wide are the bridges? What kinds of floods can they cope with? How big are the culverts? How much climate change we experience?
She told the students that the decisions involving where to build infrastructure have consequences that can be felt years, even decades later. An example, power lines that were built in an area vulnerable to wildfires.
So there's the Methow Valley has one transmission line in and out. It goes over Loop Loop Pass. It burned up. Right? The valley had no power for a week or more. So we don't always remember the ways that these changes can impact us.
Snover is often asked who or what is to blame for climate change. There is no easy answer.
Can you point the finger at human-caused climate change or natural variability? The answer is we don't really know where to point the finger right now, and you probably point the finger somewhere in between because both factors are at play.
We could see more years like 2015 with record high temperatures and little snowpack.
We're talking about changes that are going to unfold over the next several decades, handful of decades. So it's not as far off as people think, right? Like I said, by 2050 we could have a normal climate that's like this year. That this could be the normal by then or sooner. So it's that co-definition.
But Snover tells her audiences there are things they can do.
We have a choice about what kind of a climate change we want to have occur, and that's a choice we make every day with our greenhouse emissions and our behavior. We also have a really, really important choice about whether we have our eyes wide open for the changes that we've set in motion, whether we're thinking about what they mean and getting ready for them. And that's what our science aims to improve.
Snover was part of a select group of only 8 people nationwide who were honored by the White House for their work to promote climate education. When we return, a look at a new treatment for color blindness as UW 360 continues. Welcome back to UW 360 from beautiful Husky Ballpark. On a day like today, it's hard to imagine not being able to take in the vivid colors all around us. And yet that's the reality for millions of Americans with color blindness. Now, thanks to UW researchers, there's a new treatment for this condition. Rio Barber explains.
Zoe has her father's eyes and a long family history of colorblindness.
On my dad's side, his father was colorblind. My mom's side, her father was colorblind. And my dad's colorblind, and my uncle's colorblind. So in the end, my brother and I had high probability of being colorblind.
Zoe is one of over 250 million people worldwide who suffer from color vision deficiencies.
So if you look at the building, the darker tiles, for me, they look dark green. The lighter ones look very brown.
Without red and green, the world is just a lot less vibrant and makes certain patterns invisible.
My brother came home when he was in high school with a shirt that was burgundy and tan. It didn't look like the kind of shirt he would typically wear, so I said, you know, do you know about the elephants on your shirt? He said, what elephants?
Growing up with a colorblind sibling sparked Maureen's passion for understanding this genetic disorder. Today, she is one of UW's leading vision researchers alongside her husband, Jane Neitz.
We had this idea of using these monkeys that are colorblind just like people, and we developed a viral vector that carried a human photopigment gene that was missing in these monkeys, and we injected it into the eye.
Everybody thought it would not work, so we actually didn't think it would work either, so we were very stunned when it actually did work.
Find the chip here that looks most like that one and put it next to it.
We're always trying to invent new technology that allows us to do experiments and measure the outcome in a way that there's nothing out there that we can use.
Jay and Maureen believe they have the magic bullet, a non-surgical intravitreal injection.
It's just a shot in the eye, which is something people have now on a monthly basis to treat macular degeneration. And some people have up to 80 of these injections in their eye in their lifetime. So it's very well tolerated. It's something that's accepted.
The next step for Jay and Maureen is to get FDA approval to move forward with clinical trials. They hope to have the shot available to the public in 2016.
I get probably a few hundred emails every week of people that tell me, you know, why they wish they had their color vision cured. And most of it, it's because they can't get the job that was always of their dream.
From firefighters to nurses to airline pilots, color blindness often prohibits people from many career opportunities. But Jay and Maureen's research doesn't stop with this cure.
And so we hope that not only are we going to help, you know, millions of people, you know, that have color blindness, but then moving forward with these same technologies will actually be able to cure many of the unsolved problems where people lose their vision. It's so exciting because we get to discover new things that change the world. That's, you know, a great feeling.
For more information and online testing, you'll find a link on our website at uwtv.org/UW360. All right, our next story is about a team of UW-based physicians joining forces with a business-savvy mentor to tackle some of the healthcare industry's biggest concerns. The result? An outline for improving the quality of surgical procedures and a positive financial impact on our nation's largest industry. Austin Siedentoff explains in this BECU Husky Money Moment.
UW 360's Husky Money Moment is made possible by the generous support of BECU. BECU, more than just money.
True to the spirit of the ad, squeezed in between a hamburger joint and an apparel store, we have a game-changing startup. CSATs. Let's take a look.
Hey, welcome to CSATs, Austin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Spun out of CoMotion's Fluke Hall Incubator, where it received both funding and office space, the company recently moved to this utilitarian location in the heart of the U District. A former CoMotion Entrepreneur in Residence, or EIR, Derek Streat and his colleagues have had their hands full with the day-to-day operations on the business side.
And what exactly does CSATs do? How is it unique to the industry?
So CSAT stands for Crowdsourced Assessment of Technique and Skill, and it's a way to figure out how good somebody is and how to make them better. And so we make it very easy to have a performance of a surgeon or any other healthcare practitioner evaluated by literally tens of thousands or even millions of people objectively.
So you're looking at analyzing the skills of surgeons?
Correct. It's focused specifically on technical skills in surgery today.
So would I be correct in saying that this is basically Yelp for surgeons?
Well, it's different from Yelp in a number of ways. Probably the biggest is that in Yelp you often you'll get a few people providing sort of unstructured opinions about somebody's performance. In our case, we'll use validated assessment tools focused specifically on technique to yield anywhere from 300 to 500 data outputs for each performance assessed.
Wow.
Yes, it's quite extraordinary.
That's a lot. So it's not Yelp for surgeons.
Right, exactly. It's much more granular data, and it's accurate.
So if I'm the CFO of like a major hospital, or if I'm a consumer or a customer, so to speak, in this sense, what exactly am I benefiting from by using CSATs?
Well, if you're at the institution, you care about the quality of the service that you provide, and in healthcare in particular, you care about it a lot today because risk is shifting in healthcare to where the provider, the doctor, the surgeon, etc., they're at financial risk for not providing high-quality services. If you're the patient or the employer or the insurance company involved, you care about quality because you want to make sure that people are taken care of as best as they can at the lowest possible cost so that healthcare insurance premiums and costs don't continue to skyrocket.
So less time in the OR, less time in beds, everybody wins.
Yes.
So you could really be sort of changing the entire face of the industry.
Yeah, well, we think we already are. We know that today, if you're in-house and you're using peer review to assess a surgeon, it can take weeks and thousands of dollars. In our case, it's an order of magnitude faster, less expensive, and it's better data.
We'll be right back with a look at how a new class of teachers is making a big impact in Pierce County as UW 360 continues from Husky Ballpark. Welcome back to UW 360. A new crop of teachers is making a huge impact in a Pierce County community. These teachers got their start at the UW Tacoma campus before heading into classrooms of their own. And as Stacy Sakamoto reports, these new educators hit the ground running.
Good morning, Central Avenue Wildcats. Happy Friday.
It's a typical day at Central Avenue Elementary in the Franklin Pierce School District east of Tacoma. It's a district where more than 60% of students are non-white and more than 70% qualify for free or reduced-priced lunches. And it's where students from UW Tacoma, like Matt Rothner, have chosen to start their teaching careers.
I think being an educator is something that you're drawn to.
So help me do the math. 5 goes into 1.
In nearby Keithley Middle School, another UW Tacoma student teacher, Angela Muller, is leading a math lesson. Both Muller and Rothner are enrolled in the dual certification program. Students earn both a special ed and a general ed certification. The program also places students in the nearby Sumner School District.
If they want to get hired in Franklin Pierce, they want to work with kids of poverty. They want to work in tough schools.
Soccer. You can do it all by themselves.
This is Catherine Wilmot's first year as a teacher. She's a graduate of UW Tacoma, and before that, a student in this school district.
So I knew I wanted to come back and make maybe make a difference, make an impact in my community, but I didn't know how I was going to do that.
We teach them to work with the hardest kids there are, and we say if you can work with the hardest kids, you can teach any kids.
Administrators at both UW Tacoma and Franklin Pierce say they've seen an improvement in student achievement since they partnered 5 years ago.
It is the magic of the partnership that makes it work.
Ready?
The UW student teachers get regular visits from Kristen Rolfe, a field supervisor. Rolfe is a UW Tacoma graduate and a former teacher in this district. For her, being a field supervisor is a way to help even more Franklin Pierce students.
I'm able to build them up, and I'm able to give them a sense of value and a sense of worth, and to let them know that they're important. And so for me to get to have an impact on so many teacher candidates who are learning how to teach and know hopefully that they're going to go out into their own classrooms and they're going to give those students a sense of value and worth and of love, and that somebody cares for them, that's really why I enjoy being in the position that I'm in now.
At the end of last school year, Catherine Wilmot asked her students to write about something they wish she knew. One wrote, "I wish my teacher knew that she is good at teaching."
It made me feel validated that this year as a first-year teacher that I was doing something right.
Angela Muller ended the year with a stack of thank you notes.
It's a wonderful thing to have handed to you, and it is the reason that I want to teach. This is the reason right here. To Mrs. Muller, I think you are an awesome teacher, and I think you will do great when you become a real teacher. From Luke. I know I can be a pain at times. Thanks for not giving up on me. Rodrigo.
At the end of the year, one of the student teachers emailed her UW Tacoma professors to thank them.
I owe it to all of you and this program. Thank you for helping me become an effective teacher for my amazing 33 high-poverty 5th graders and the future students that follow.
Some of Professor Stein's current teacher interns have already landed full-time teaching jobs. We'll be right back with an inspirational story from right here at Husky Ballpark as UW 360 continues. Welcome back to UW 360. Here at the UW, the Husky baseball program is one of the best in the country. And one player who truly proves that is outfielder Braden Bishop. He's not only a top professional prospect, he's also taking the biggest swing of his life to battle a devastating disease. Aaron Mayofsky reports.
My mom is one of 5 million Americans who suffer from Alzheimer's.
Husky's Braden Bishop is on a mission to help strike out Alzheimer's, a disease slowly robbing his mother's life.
Just this little kid running around, my mom's throwing me wiffle balls, and like I'll never forget it. We'd walk there with the dog, and then I'd hit the ball, the dog would go chase it and bring it back to my mom, and we just keep doing it all day. It's like those memories I'll never forget.
Bishop's mom, Susie, was diagnosed with the crippling disease last fall. She's young, just 54. Only 5% of all Alzheimer's patients are under 60.
I remember I was sitting in my apartment when they told me, and it just knocked me off my feet. I remember I was sitting on the couch and I just slipped onto the ground. Like I didn't even know what to do, to talk to.
Bishop gets that foot down there. He lets the ball travel. Nice job, stays behind it, and just shoots it into right field.
He always writes "for Mom" on his forearm, and he borrows my Sharpie to write it on there often enough. I think it does weigh on him at times, but he's done a great job of using his love for his mom, his support for his mom as inspiration to get him through those tough days on the baseball field, tough days academically, tough days that life throws at you.
Yeah, usually I'll write it on game days, and it's just something to remind me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's my motivation.
For Braden Bishop, baseball has always been about the numbers, like batting average and slugging percentage. But the numbers that really hit home are the ones he'd like to erase forever.
Every 67 seconds, somebody in the U.S. develops the disease. My name is Braden Bishop. I just wanted to wish my mom Susie a happy Mother's Day and all the other moms out there. We're so thankful for you and your support, especially my mom. Going through some tough times, but Mom, we're all here for you and we love you.
And when it comes to hometown support, the Husky baseball program hit a home run with Braden, helping raise money through approved fundraisers.
We could do a charity event where we can lift some weight, get some people involved that may not know much about UW, may not know that much about Alzheimer's, get them in there and also raise some money, raise some awareness, and let Braden know that, you know, we have his back.
It's been overwhelming for me just to see how many people want to join in and fight with me. I guess that's the hardest part is, you know, trying to stay in the moment and only go day by day because you never know which moment's going to be the last one. And, you know, it is scary to think, hey, she might not even remember who I am come my wedding day, or if I make a Major League debut one day, she might not remember that.
Seattle selects Braden Bishop, a center fielder at the University of Washington.
So those things are tough, but like I said, you know, you never know which moment's going to be your last moment with her. So, you know, I just try and take every moment just one at a time and enjoy it as much as possible.
You'll see the writing on a lot of the players' arms today, and it says "for Mom." And
she's the same, you know, beautiful person that we all love, and I think that is the biggest thing that we can bring to the table as, you know, outsiders of the family, is that just treating her the same and just being the same loving people that we have been in the past, because that's what she is to us as well.
It's not a matter of time, but it's a matter of, you know, how many times can I tell her I love her? I love her. Yeah.
Braden says his love for his mom will continue to push him to help find a cure for Alzheimer's. He's already organized more fundraisers, and he also got some great professional news. He was drafted by our own Seattle Mariners. We wish him and his family the very best. And that wraps up this edition of UW 360. If you'd like more information on any of the stories you saw today, just head to our website at uwtv.org/UW360. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Carolyn Douglas. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with all new stories from the University of Washington.